All of you, welcome back to yet another project video. In this project, you're going to build your first ever full stack MCP server web application which is going to communicate with your LLM. So you will have your own data set, whether it could be centralized, decentralized. You will pass down to your MCP server. So MCP server can communicate with your LLM and response based on your query. So tons of feature we have included in this complete full stack MCP server web application which runs on your own data set. So let me give you a complete walkthrough that what are the feature and functionality we have included in our MCP server web application and how our LLM will communicate with our MCP server. Then we're going to make the request to our backend server, get the data, format the data and provide based on the user analysis. We are using Binance API for getting all the data for off the chain and on the chain. So when the user will come back to the application, this is the very first thing they see, DeFi crypto assistant. We have this clear button, so you can simply click and it will clear your chat model and it will bring out to you on the home page. So you will find that we have this beautiful interface. You can call whatever you want. We have a couple of predefined questions which you can select. So if I want to know the current price of the Bitcoin, I can simply select this one. It will be selected and will pass down to our AI model LLM, and that LLM will pass to our MCP server. Then it will make a request to our backend API. We'll get the response, and here we have the response about the Bitcoin price. And this data is real time because we are using Binance API, which will give you the latest trading data which is happening on the chain and off the chain. I can ask multiple questions. For example, I want to know the most trending tokens, and here you will get the response. First is going to make the request to our backend, then our LLM will format and give us the response based on the desired format we want. So just wait, it's executing and soon we'll get the response. And here you will find the list of all the top performing token we are getting on the Binance exchange. So the first one is we have the Bitcoin. You will see the price ratio, the exchange volume and low and high. You can check the Ethereum, you can check this USDC, you can check this Solana, you can check this Binance, you can check this like XRP, Dogecoin, all the details you will find. You can also ask about the trending pool. So let's say pool and hit enter. Our LLM is formatting our prompt, passing to our MCP server, then that MCP server making the request. Then it will give us the response back. It will go to the LLM and is going to provide us the details in our front end side. So here you will find the list of all the details. This is the most profitable pools you will find between the tokens. So it's really powerful. You can ask multiple questions. Here you got the response that Ethereum is currently trending in this pair like ETH USDT, and here is the rate of exchange, the current price, the price exchange rate, the volume, the high and low. That's all you can find. Give me the data for graph, and you can ask any question. So you can ask any question about the tradings, and here you will find the list of all this model. Here you will find the list of all the trade volumes. You can see on 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So how it is working, it's making the request on the Ethereum and getting the data normally, but we using the LLM to provide the desired data based on the user requirements. So you can see we are calling different tools, and that's the benefit. We have built different tool in our MCP server which calling it and performing. So you can literally ask any type of question. You can ask any type of question. You can ask imagination. This will help you to do the analysis properly about the tokens, about the exchange. So it's really powerful. You can see it's taking a little bit time. Soon we'll get the response and it's going to perform the execution. So you can see we got all the details which we have. So you will find the Bitcoin and USDT as the trading pair we have at the moment on the Binance chain. You will find the details. You can see this is the 1 week trading data. So how it was, the trading volume. That's all you can able to analysis. So I hope you have understood that how powerful it is. Let me repeat once again the logic we are implementing. So you going to put your query format into a proper prompt and it's going to execute the function we have in the MCP server for getting the data. Once we have the data, it's going to format it and give based on our requirements. So it's a really powerful. Again, if you want to clear your chat, you can simply click on this clear and you will have come back here and you can come back and you can find and ask more questions. So you can come show me the top cryptocurrency by volume. You can click here and it's going to give you the list of all the top 10 currency which you can able to find. So this architecture is very important. You have to master this architecture because recently I was working in one of the company project where I was building an internal dashboard, monitor the entire transaction, entire request which is coming on different servers so we can distribute the server into a better scalability. So this was the tool which I was working. So I thought let's build that. And you have to know that how you can build MCP servers. You can't deny the fact that AI is going to be with you. So you have to know how to use AI, how to integrate, how you can make the AI accessible to your own data set. And that's the power. You will have your own data sets which you can provide to a LLM, and it's going to respond based on that. So this is really beautiful. So I hope you have understood that what are the feature and functionality we have included, how it will work, how user can ask the question. Now let me provide you all the assets which you need to develop this particular project and how we have structured. I will also take you through the entire code structure so you can understand that how we are building the MCP server, how we are passing the prompt, how we are making the request, how we are running the client. That's all. So to get the starter file and all the assets, including the final source, you can come back to the blockchain coder. Here you will find all the project we have developed related to decentralization or non-decentralization. So make sure to build at least 5 of them. Make sure to log in. Once you will log in, you will have this option called source code. Here you will find a list of all the project we have developed. So we have built for Solana, EVM compatible chain. That's all the thing that you need to learn for becoming a blockchain developer or a web developer. That's all you will find here. So to get the assets, you can click here, go back to the recent. Here you will come, click here. You can watch this particular video which I'm recording about the final code setup. That's what I'm going to attach here. You can click on the starter file, and here you can able to understand the complete architecture we have implemented in this particular project, that how we are communicating with the MCP server. So we have the front end where we are calling our MCP server and providing all the transaction. Here we have the backend where we are calling and building our client MCP server for making all the requests to the Binance endpoint. That's all the details you will find. You will find that how our exactly the workflow would work. So we're going to pass down the query to our OpenAI. It's going to make the call to our MCP server. Then it's going to give the response. Then it's going to call the Binance and will have the tools which we have developed. It's going to call accordingly. So that's all we have. So this is the complete architecture we have for this particular project. Now let me provide you the final source code so you can faster your development to understand the code structure better. To get the final source code, you can come back to the blockchain coder and make sure to get the final source code. When you will take it, you will give your valuable contribution to my team to bring more tutorial like that. So let me download the code quickly. Once you will download the final source code, you will get the zip file. Make sure to extract the zip file. Then you will get this folder in which you will have the complete source code of the project, which you have seen in the demo, including the MCP server and the front end part. So make sure to extract this particular folder, install zip extractor, then you can able to extract the folder. So this is the one which I'm going to open in my VS Code. So I'll simply click here, and right now you will find that I have an empty project. I'll click on this open. I'll go back to desktop and I have this folder. Simply select and click on open. Now let me give you a complete walkthrough of the entire folder and file structure, which is very important for you to understand, and it's very well structured we have used. So I'll simply close this one. So the very first folder you will find is the front end, where we are building all the front end logic, calling our MCP server to interact and get the query from the user. So we have the public folder in which we have keeping the icon so it can display the fab icon. Then we have this SRC in which we have all the component and our application starting point. So in the component you will find that we have all of this model: chat input, chat CSS, chat message, chat CSS, header CSS. We have the tools, all the tools which we are calling, and it's CSS, welcome screen when the user is just opening the home screen, and that's the CSS we have. All of this component you can simply customize. We are using Vite in this particular project, which is super fast, and you can use Next.js. It's totally up to you. But in this project, I decide to use Vite as a framework. So I'll simply close this one and close this one. We have this app CSS and we have this app JSX, we have this index and the main JSX file. So this is the folder structure we have, and we have this HTML file which is going to be the starting point for our application. If you come back to the packages.json file, we are using the very light form of the packages, so it will work absolutely fine no matter when you are developing this particular project. Make sure to use the exact version and do the exact setup the way I'm doing it. It's very important. So this is the complete front-end code we have. We are using the icon, XCS, and we have this React packages, and here we have the Vite models which we are using. So close this one, and here we have the Vite configuration. So this is the global configuration I have done based on the system. It will work absolutely fine. So let's close this one, close this one. So this is the complete front-end code. Now the main part is right up here in our backend part in the MCP server. So if I open this SRC, you will find these 3 folders. We have the client, index, and server. This one is absolutely very important for you to understand, in which we have discussed extensively that how you have to build the MCP server. So if you come back to the client side, what this particular will do, it will take the response from the client and is going to pass down to our models we have to use. We are using OpenAI as a LLM model, but you can customize for any LLM model. It will work absolutely fine. Make sure to test as it is. After that, do all the experiment. You will find that we are using a couple of middleware because we have to handle the static component model. We have to handle the cross error because we're going to make a couple of API calls to our backend. So that's what we have. We are using OpenAI because we are using the ALLM model, which going to simply make the request, format the prompt, call the relevant API endpoints which we have in the Binance, and it's going to give us the data, then it's going to format it. So this is the entire structure we have. This is the initialized model we have. If you come back, we are simply calling that, and we have this multiple endpoint. So we have this health, we have the chat model, which is going to open, and here we have the tools. In this, we'll have all the tools which going to make the call, and we are running our server, including the front end. Because when I will run, it's going to start the front end and the back end simultaneously. We have the shutdown, so if anything goes wrong, we're going to simply shut down our application, and here we have the, so it's just a server which is going to start the application. This is the client side where we are handling all the models. So you can see we have all the structure, the MCP tools we have developed, we have the chat models, we have the interface session, we have the main script, we have the error handler. That's all we have. So this will allow us to simply get the data from the front end and pass down to our exact servers, which allow us to execute the Binance endpoint. Now come back to the index.js, and here you will find LLM going to make the request based on the user questions. So we are importing the packages, and here we have the base endpoint. I'm using the latest model called V3. It has a great documentation which you can simply read. You can able to find all the models, all the endpoint, which you can simply customize based on the tools, based on the requirement which you want to include in your application. So they have a great documentation. All of this endpoint which you will find, which I have used in this project, that's all you will find. So here you will find the entire class constructor which I have developed for this. So we have called this MCP server, the server. That's what we have here. And here you will find the error handle model. That's what we are doing here. Here you will find the tool model. And this one is very important, in which you will have the complete tools which going to execute by the LLM. So we have different price feed, we have the analytical part, we have the trading price, we have the top currency, we have the price of each currency. That's all you will find. So I have given a couple of predefined prompt, but this data is dynamic based on the user preference. The user will ask is going to be automatically changed. So the first function we have is get crypto price. So this will give us the crypto price of all the token which we have in the endpoint. We have the top cryptocurrency, we'll have that one, and we'll have the get price change. So when how far the price is changing based on weekly, that's all we have. We have the book order, so most of the trading happening in a particular pair, that's what we are making the endpoint. Then we have the recent trades, so all the recent trades is happening in the next 24 hours, that's what we are dealing. And here we have the analytical part, which we're going to analyze when the price is high, when the price is low. That's all we have here. So and here we have the search parameter, which is going to call the endpoint we have in the specific token in the Binance to give the details about the complete pair of a particular token, because every token will have a unique symbol, and based on the symbol we're going to trigger the event. So that's what we have. Then we have this get exchange info. So if we want to get any information about the exchange, that's all we can ask. So this is the tool we have developed, and you can add more tool depending on that how big your AI endpoint is. Currently I'm using the free version, that's why I have built this free tools for the AI model which can simply make the request and do the calculation and perform the response. So when the user will hit any request, whether it's a top currency, our AI automatically going to take the question and try to compare that which tool it has to call. And when it will call the tool, it will have the data as a raw format. Then it's going to analyze the data based on our request. So if we are trying to know about the trading pair, it will give us the trading pair details. If you want to know more about it, again, it's going to make a request and it's going to provide us all the details and do all the analysis. Because when we'll make the request, it will store the data in the cache, because we are not going to make the call frequently. So we are following the cache model as well. That's also you will learn. So here you will find all the tools which our AI model is going to call when you will run this NPC server and the user will ask the question. Here we have this particular endpoints which we have developed, which is going to trigger each one of the model automatically. So I would highly encourage you to try to understand this one. It's very simple. It's just like a normal Node.js. It's not that rocket science, but the way we are handling, the way we are building this model to communicate and passing the data between the LLM to our MCP server is very important. So you have to understand. Just take this and understand, follow the structure. It would be work absolutely fine. No matter what LLM you are using, it is compatible with all the LLM. This is the structure we follow in the industry. Whatever MCP server we have built for the client for building the internal system, this is the same structure I have replicated in every single model. The data would be different, the feature would be different, the functionality would be different, but this is the same architecture you can implement. The same packages you have to implement. And here we have this. So this 3 is very important. So I hope you have understood the front end, you have understood the SRC. Let me close this one, come back to the environment variable, and here you have to get your own OpenAI. I'm using OpenAI, but I would suggest you to use OpenAI, test every single thing, after that do all the experiment. Got it? So that's what we're going to get it together. Just wait. We have this get ignore, simply keep it as it is. We have the package.json file, and we are using the most stable version. So no matter when you are developing this project, it will work absolutely like a butter if you follow this video exactly the way I'm doing it and use the exact version. It will work absolutely fine. We're going to start the front end and the back end together, but you can start separately. There is all the command which I have given, like start, client, dev, server, that's all is there. So let's close this one. Come back to the project summary, and here you can able to understand the entire structure which I have used in this project. And this will help you to understand that how the browser, the MCP, the LLM is communicating with one another and starting and providing all the response. So our front end is going to be run on this, our backend is going to be run on this, and here we have the OpenAI, we have the client server and the tool. So when the client will hit pass the request, it will take the OpenAI, hit the MCP server, then it's going to take the tools to make a relevant call, and it will have the data, it will format it. So that's all is given. That's all is given which you can able to analysis, and that's the brief details I have given, that what exactly variable we have used and how structure we have followed. So this is the complete project summary you will have. We have the quick start guide. So first you have to install the packages. Then if you want to start the both the front end and the back end, this is the command you have to execute. Or if you want to start separately, you can do this one. That's all is there. Here we have the readme file that I have provided some of the importance links which you can have a look. And the structure we have it. We have the UI guideline, that how we are structuring the UI, what are the models we are using in terms of coloring. That's all you will find. So you can see this is the structure we are following when we get the response. So if you want to do a customization, you can do it very easily. And the one thing you have to understand, that when you deliver any project, you have to structure in this way. There's a lot of things which you have to write and customize. And here we have the web readme file. You will find all the instruction about the installation and this starting file. That's all is there. So this is the complete source code you will get in the final source code. Now let me do the installation and let's start testing our application live in our local system. So before we do the installation, let's come back here and we have to simply get this OpenAI key. But let's do the installation first. So first what I will do, I'll simply open up my terminal, and right now you can see I'm on the main server, MCP Server app, in which I have the complete code. So first I'll check my Node version. I have the latest Node version. I want you to have the same Node version. Okay. So first I have to do the installation of this package in the MCP server, the backend part. So I'll simply type npm I, and it's a very light package. It's very light, and the installation will happen very quickly. So just wait. Soon the installation will complete, and you will find the model is there. And here we got it. We have the zero vulnerability, and every single thing is looking good. Now I'll simply click up my terminal. Now we have to get into the front end, and we have to install the front end part, like this package.json file. So I'll simply go cd, type front end, hit enter, and I'm into this particular directory. So make sure to come into this directory. Now click on this npm I, hit enter, and it's going to do the installation of the package. This will happen very quickly. So just wait. Here the installation is got started, and we have done the installation. Simply ignore this one. It's not that important. So I'll simply close this one, close this one, close this one, close this one, open up your terminal. And now we have to start the backend and the front end together. So to do that, we can come back here, and here I have already given you the instruction. You have to execute this command. But before we do that, we have to load our environment variable. I'll open a new tab, type OpenAI API key, click on the very first link. Here you will come back to your OpenAI. Make sure to create your account, verify your account. And currently OpenAI is not giving you the free credit depending on which country. They are providing in some country, and in some country they are not providing. So I'll simply delete my old API key, and I'm going to create a new API key in case you don't know how to create. So click here and call whatever you want. I'll say MCP Server, and I want to have all the feature. Click on this create, and it's going to create our API key. Simply copy. Again, I'm going to delete this after this tutorial, so don't use use your own. So I'll simply copy, and that's what I'm going to simply paste here. So let me paste. Once I will paste, I will come back. So finally I provided my API key. Now we have to start our application. So this is the command which you have to copy. We're going to start backend and the front end. So simply copy, and that's what you can paste and hit enter. And you will find that our application is going to be start. It's running on localhost 3000, the front end, and the backend is going to run on our 3001. So don't have to worry about it. We have already used the cross model, so it will work absolutely fine. If you don't know what is the cross model, you can come back here, and here you will find, not here, like yes, in the server we have, yeah, here we have it. So here we have already done the configuration, so it will work absolutely fine. So it's working on 3000. You can simply copy, and we are using the latest Vite model. Now you can come back here. I'll delete this, come open a new tab, paste here, hit enter, and you will find that our application is got started. Now you will have this interface. Now you can ask your questions. You can ask your question like about the Ethereum, about the search of available tier pair on Solana. So I'll simply select here, and it's going to make a call to our Binance API endpoint, and it's going to pass down to our LLM. Is going to understand our query and going to provide us all the details. You can see which call it called. It's called the symbol tools we have developed, and here we have the answers of the question. USDT. You can ask. It's going to give you the response and provide you all the details. It's going to make a call based on the token which you have selected. You can see we have called the symbol tools. So here we have got the response from our AI model. So you can ask anything about the pair. You can simply copy this one, you can paste here, and you can simply hit enter. It's going to make a call and it's going to give you the response of this particular token and the pair model we have. So here you will find you can do the deep analysis and you will have more data. So I hope you have understood that how powerful it is, like how we are communicating with the LLM model to our MPC server, how we are passing the data, exchanging the prompt, getting the desired result based on our query which we are providing to our LLM. Not any random query. The data is coming from one centralized location which we have as a Binance API, on-chain data, on off-chain data. So that's all we have. It's really powerful. I hope you have understood the complete project architecture. You have to know how to build MCP server. Whether you are a blockchain developer or a normal developer, you have to know, because you cannot deny the fact that AI is going to be with us, and every single application going to have a AI assistant which will provide and deal with the internal data or external data. You can't execute the entire LLM based on global data. You need to have your own data set where you can train and provide relevant information. So that's the complete project. That's how you can install, do the testing in your system. It's really powerful. It's really powerful. I'll try to bring this project as soon as possible. But if you really want to foster your development, you can take the final source code and do the testing and try to understand, because understanding is more important. This is the structure which you have to understand, the way we have constructed, the way we are making this and building this MCP server, the way we have built this particular tools we have here in our system, different tools we have developed which calling automatically by the LLM. So that's the only thing from my end. If you have any question, any doubt, do let me in the comment section. I'll definitely try to help you in that and provide you all the information regarding your query. So with that, I'm ending this video. Have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.